Hi everyone, welcome back. I hope y'all are doing great. I'm doing okay. Today we're going to be playing with some images, one image basically, once we're finished, one complete total image, but something I made on a ScanNCut. I'm going to show you what I made and then I'll show you how I made it in another video. So I decided that I wanted to do some cameras because I'm into cameras. And I like a lot of camera ephemera, and I think just doing a lot of the recent stuff with the Maggie Holmes paper collection when we did the Crafting with Maggie collab, I was like, oh, I want to try to do some camera stuff. So I made a camera file on the ScanNCut. Nothing too laborious, but you know, I made it, and if you would like the file, I will be more than happy to share the file with you. But I will be doing a video to show you how you can make your own file, and I believe you can do it on any particular machine, but I'm going to be doing it on the ScanNCut. So we have this so far. Then you're going to put your lens, and then for some depth, I'm going to put it in here like we're focusing it, and then one more on top of there. And let's see, stop squiggling it, Brandy. All right, this camera is really big. It is 6.25 by 8, so of course you wouldn't want to make it that large, but I do recommend making a large file first to see how big it is when you print it out, you get ready to cut it off, and then you can go smaller if you choose to go smaller. Okay, so we have this one little button here. Now some cameras are much more fancy than this, and you can get as fancy as you like. You know, you could put a lot of little dots on the side if you wanted to. I have this one because I was going to put it right here, but I just felt like it didn't look really nice. So, you know, when I show you how to assemble this on the computer, you can decide what file or how you want to do it, you know, once you get the basics down, if you don't already know how to make a camera. So let's go ahead and glue this down. I only have one of these cut out because I did cut it out so large. Now, what could you do with this? When I was showing Barry Craft, she said, oh, it could be a cute memory dex card. I was like, oh yeah, it could be. I never really even gave that any thought because I don't do a lot of memory dex cards. So, you know, you could do that if you like. I really want to make a little album, a camera album, a camera shaped album, not a camera album, but a camera shaped album. So that's what I was dilly-dallying around with. I could see how many layers. I'm just putting some glue on. I'm trying to be a little bit more sparse with the glue on some of the projects, especially this one, because it is alcohol, water-based glue, and you know, water-based glue will warp. But some of the paper, this paper that I'm using, is some of it's really thick, and then some of it is not as thick. So we're going to do that, and we're just going to stick this to the side, and we're going to work on our lens portion. The reason why I want to put the lens together first before we put on top of the paper is because I want to make sure that I have these three pieces kind of centered as best as possible. It's nothing on here telling me how I should do it besides my eye, and you know, so I'm just putting some more glue on here. Now, if you want to age the camera a little bit, of course, you can distress it some. But for every project, I don't use the distress glue. I mean, ink, the distress glue. That would be cool if it was distress glue, wouldn't it? I guess it would have to be a clear glue that goes on and dries whatever color that is. If you wanted to do some distressing, and it could not be water reactive, right? I think that's pretty good. All right, so we got our little eye. All right, so now move this piece out the way. I'm going to put this down, and we're going to do the same thing, just applying glue. So this is an art project, an arts and craft project, you know, from when you were in school. You just take all the pieces and glue them down. I've been seeing a lot, well, not a lot, but some of the people that own ScanNCuts from various older to the newer models do a lot of like cool videos using some of the USB disc, the thumb drives that they have and things like that. I'm like, oh, that's really cool. If you own a ScanNCut, you'll know, even with a lot of other of the other machines. I think Silhouette is probably the one that's the least expensive, but I don't know how that works. But I know like the Cricut, you know, Cricut has a lot of different machines, and I hope the ScanNCut brother does not plan on making a lot of machines. As I know, they have 4. They have the first ScanNCut, ScanNCut 2, ScanNCut 3, and then they have the cut and design, which you don't scan images in, you just cut out stuff. And that they had that one at the Tuesday morning a while back. So it was only like $200. So that would have been a good deal if you design things already and could pull it up and just cut it out. So now we're gonna do this. I'm gonna get these edges fairly well. Okay. And just put this down wherever you feel like your center of your camera should be. I didn't want it to be directly in the center when I was designing it, so I want it to be a little bit over, but you know, for the most part in the middle, like almost in the middle. And then now you can tell the difference between these pieces, hopefully. Let me pick this one up. I chopped off my fingernails, and of course I go to pick stuff up. So this one, you can barely see it, but this one is a little bit bigger. A little bit, wait, let's see. Nope, they're the same size. One of them is supposed to be a little bit bigger to go right here. And then one's supposed to be a little bit thinner to go here, but maybe I just used the same piece when I went to cut it off on the machine. All right. And then you have this piece. Now this would be cool also if you were doing a card. Or if you want to mail out a postcard, you could probably use this as a postcard. I remember postcards, the postage for postcards was what, 15 cents, very cheap, inexpensive to use. And I collected, I still do sometimes. I have many anyway though. Collect postcards. You know, when you go overseas to different places, they have like 10 or 20 on a roll for $2 or $3, which is really, really inexpensive when you think about it. Because you can knock out all your friends and family with one purchase. But I would buy those, and then I would buy individual postcards to send to people. So I'm just going to turn this over and burnish it down once more. And now you can look at the camera from the back, and you can see that it's all one thing. Now, if you really want to get fancy, you could put like a square or a rectangle in here, and that could be the view that you were looking through your camera. So that is all. I hope that you've enjoyed this. I will be having the video on how to make this soon. I want to say thank you all for watching. Until next time, happy crafting.